In the last 12 months, I've helped 55 men achieve a clean-cut six-pack at 10% body fat from starting ranges of anywhere from 15 all the way up to 35%. If you don't believe me, go and check us out on Instagram at The Gorilla Platoon. So, in this video, I'm going to discuss as to why it is you can't get past 13% body fat, and it's where to change that. If you're new to the channel, by the way, my name is Tom Sergi. I run the Gorilla Platoon. As you can see, this is an online physique international transformation program where we get results like this, and then we discuss them online so you can take from the practice and apply it into your own life. So let's roll straight in. My promise to you, by the end of this video, you'll know the 3 reasons as to why you can't get past 13% body fat, but most importantly, how to overcome this, because it is your birthright to walk around this earth at 10% body fat, a confident Mo trucker. That is what we're here to deliver for you. If I have a human flesh body and I'm at 10% body fat, you can achieve the same. You just may need some tweaks to your lifestyle. Now, the first reason why you will not get there is because your own brain will actually stop you from doing this. Now, what do I mean when I say that? And I don't mean to be patronizing, not in the slightest, but you must understand, if you've always looked at yourself as you and the way you've gone about life, you've never been the guy at 10% body fat. So there is a disconnect between what you think you deserve and where you actually need to be. So when you start to get towards 13% body fat, I hear it all the time. I'm happy now with how I look. I'm happy now with how I look. If I gave you a BMW or a Rolls Royce, are you going to say, I'm happy with the BMW and I'll skirt off in that? No, you're going to say, I'll take the Rolls Royce, mate. So if I line up 2 physiques and say, here's 13% and here's, let's say 9 because it's even more crispy, are you telling me you're going to take 13? If we can keep everything the same, all you have to do is click a picture and it miraculously appears on your body, which one are you picking? You know the answer, right? You're picking the one of fucking, the leaner, of course you are. If I say, right, we can grow your Johnson now to 9 inches, or you can pick the 5-inch, you're picking the 9-inch every time. So don't fucking lie. But what will happen is your own brain will be like, well, I'm not as fat as I used to be. So I'm like, this is all right, we'll stop there. Now, the reason why it will say this for a few things. Number 1, to get past from 13 to 10% is hard. You will fucking suffer. You will suffer a lot more than you did to get from 20% down to 17%. Because it's hard, because your body is trying to hold on to that body fat. It doesn't really want to go to 10%. It wants to just chill at homeostasis. You've got to put it in a space where it will drop. It is hard, and you kind of know it's hard. You don't really want to put your ego on the line and go through the suffering. So you'll settle and go, I'm happy for this. It's the same reason why, people settle for a certain relationship. They're like, well, this is comfortable, this is nice, she's kind of nice. I'd prefer this, but to go and get the thing that's better, I actually need to do a lot of internal work, realize I'm not capable of going and getting the thing above anyway, so I'll just settle at what's comfortable, because it will hurt my ego to have to get rid of this, go without for a while, realize I'm not who I think I am, then level up enough to go and get that thing. That's literally what stops most people from going from good to great. They live a good life, but they could live a great life if they just drop their ego and move towards it. The last thing I'll say on this, it's all down to your self-image. You may be the guy that's okay not having a haircut for 2 weeks. You may be the guy that's okay having white bits on your fingernails. You may be the guy that's okay having slightly more bits on your kitchen floor than you should have. That's your standard. So if your stand is only up 13% body fat, when you get there, you just won't even have the ambition and the drive to get past and get to 10%, because your standard is not of that, of 10% body fat. You must raise your standard. That will come from dissatisfaction. That will come from looking at other people and be like, no, if they can achieve it, I want a piece of that pie. I'm not willing to accept this. And it's literally just what you think your self-worth is. Now, where's your self-worth made from? It is made from what you do behind closed doors. Because right now, you know all the times you should have done something and you didn't do it. I can tell you right now, my nose is so inflamed and I'm like getting rid of mucus. You can probably hear it in the tone of my voice. It doesn't matter. The people need to know the information that's going to get them 10% body fat, so I'm recording the video anyway. I could have been like, nah, it's going to sound funny on camera, they're not really going to be able to understand and hear me. Bullshit. You can hear me just fine. We got our microphone, you can hear me. I must record, so I'm here doing it for you, because I know all the times I should do the work. Now, because I've done the work, even when I'm slightly less in an optimal health space, I know I've got the discipline. Therefore, when we hit 10,000 subscribers this year on this channel, I'll be like, no, yep, I deserve that, because every day I did a video, even on the days I didn't want to. So if you know all the times you've not done the thing, you'll be like, well, I kind of don't deserve it anyway, because I know the times I've not done the discipline. Your self-worth comes from your ability to do discipline consistently, and also to do it from a resilient standpoint on days you don't feel like it. Again, that's kind of what discipline is. It's doing it when you don't feel like it. It's not really discipline if, like, to be honest, I'm not really disciplined making a YouTube video every day anymore. I've done it, since the 29th of Jan last year. This is second. If I don't do it, I'm a piece of shit. It's not even discipline anymore, to be honest. So, but that, you get the point I make with this. So your own brain needs to earn the right to be 10% body fat. How do you do that? Hit your non-negotiables every day. Do your steps, do your cardio, eat your diet plan, don't eat out, sleep as much as you can, train well. You'll realize you deserve the thing. Most of your issues as to why you're not 10% and you're 13 is it's just a self-worth issue. It's just what you're willing to accept. I can't stress it, and this is why I put this point forward first. The next 2 points are more tactics. This point, if you ignore this, I can give you the tactics. It doesn't matter. You'll still fuck it up because you're not the guy that deserves or thinks he deserves to be 10% body fat. So we must move around this. You must raise your standard. You do this by daily discipline tasks. And as a result of that, you will be like, no. I've done the work. I've done the work. Now I want the reward. I de-weeded your garden, Tom Sergey, for 10 hours. Now you're going to pay me the money you said you were going to pay me. Okay, yeah, cool. You did the work. Here you go. Oh, yeah, cool. You did all the daily disciplines. Here's the 10% body fat. Done. Do the discipline. You'll get the thing. Now, just in case that was not your issue, let's move on to the next point. You now hit a point where you're at low calorie, high output, but no response. So this essentially means you've used your tools. How does this happen? Normally where people go too low too early, and you're now at 1,800 calories, doing 60 minutes of cardio daily, and you're just not responding anymore. You've put your cardio up, you've pulled your food down, and you've just kind of got to 13%, but you've ran out of steam, and your body's just not that responsive to dieting. This will happen if you do this for you've been dieting for 12 plus weeks, and you get to this stage of the game. Now, rewind back a step. When you ever start dieting to get to 10% body fat, don't go so low on food so early. The reason being, we want your body to turn into a furnace, and the way you do that is through high output, but also consuming a good amount of calories, still in a deficit. Maybe sit around 200 if you're 20 to 18% body fat, and 500 if you're, let's say, 23 and above. Again, if you're 30 and above percent body fat, you can go even deeper than that. But let's say we're not going too low, because we want to burn a lot of the fat loss through output. 10,000 steps a day, 20 minutes of formal cardio, and 3 to 5 gym sessions per week. As you then start to see a drop off, which you will, it'll slow down. Add another 10 minutes of daily cardio. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Add another 10 minutes of daily cardio. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Until essentially you get to the point where you're on 40 minutes of daily cardio. You've pushed your steps to 12.5k now. You've still got some room to push with that, but you haven't even touched your food yet. You've got your body over the course of what would have been about 6 weeks at least, where it's now used to eating just below maintenance but still in a deficit and burning a high amount. You've now created the demand for your body to need that much amount of food. So when you start to pull from that needed demand, guess what? It's going to start to eat your body fat because you primed yourself very well. So that's what you do first. Let's say it's too late for that. You've already fucked it up. This is what you're then going to do. You're going to run a diet break for around 4 to 6 weeks. And I know that may be painful to hear, but look at it like this. Your body is just not responding. It's had too much of the thing you've given it. Now it's not responding to it. It's the same way when you get to an absolute arse end of a bulk and you're just you give it carbs and you barely even get a pump. You're just not responsive to insulin anymore. So at this point, we're going to bring your food back up and run a diet break. This also will tie into the next point. You'll definitely need to do this if you are in the camp of the next point. In fact, we'll tie the two together. So the next point is you have low muscles. You started very high body fat, also very low muscle. I've had this on numerous occasions. So what will happen is you'll diet for a period of time. You'll hit somewhere around 15, 16% body fat. You'll just stop responding. Now, you've got a couple of options here. You can look to run a diet break, 6 weeks, staircase your food back up. Don't completely take out all your output. Keep it 20, 30 minutes a day and get the body used to resting from dieting, eating at maintenance. Give it the feeling that you're not starving it forever. There is light at the end of the tunnel. It can relax, and also mentally, it'll give you a break from dieting, because dieting is mentally taxing as well. Of course, it is. You're not. This is not supposed to be sustainable. Dieting is not supposed to be sustainable. It's not like dieting to get shredded is not a sport. You don't play dieting. No. You do this for a short period of time. You get fucking peeled, and then you reverse out, and that's it. You don't play dieting. You're not, oh, I do dieting as my thing. No. It's not supposed to be something you do forever. This is a short period of your life where you cut some body fat. That's it. So you must understand that when you don't respond that well, push your food back up. Sit at that period for 6 weeks with less output, and just still train. You may need to run a deload as well, depending on your cycle. And then you're essentially going to get the body used to eating a good amount of food again. And still burning, still training a good amount. Now when you go back into it, your body's going to be more responsive to that drop off. If you are 35% body fat, you've got like 25 kilograms to lose, more than likely you're going to need to put one of these in anyway. So going on to if you've got too low muscle, and you get to this point, you're going to need to just accept that this first phase was there to simply cut a lot of the fat. It was there to get rid of a lot of the poor habits. Like, realistically, if you don't make 10% on your first run, it's probably because you were so out of conditioned, so high body fat, so low muscle mass, with a metabolism that was in the bin. You can't expect to run this all the way through to clean cut, crispy abs in that short space. So looking at it like this is your first phase. Your goal was simply just to cut a lot of the fat and build some solid training habits. Now from there, you're just going to reverse back out and enter a gaining phase. I've done this with one of our members, who I think I showed his transformation so far. So we dropped like 20 kilos in 12 weeks with him, like absolutely rapid. Got loads of body fat off. But as we start to get down towards this level, this is what I'm referring to, around 13-14% body fat, we'd essentially like dieted him for a long period of time, and we realized that to get all the muscle and the abs to pop, we needed more muscle. So then we reversed him out. We went for a gaining phase. He's now consuming a shit ton of calories. I want to say the high 3000s. When we were cutting, we were down to like 1700. So we've got his body now turned into a furnace. He's training hard, he's progressing, and he's adding muscle. Now when we take the second run at it to drop off that body fat, we're going to be able to reach the 10% because he's got more muscle. His body needs more calories anyway to sustain that amount of muscle. So it's much easier to get a muscular physique down to 10% body fat than it is a low muscle physique. So you may be in that camp. What I say to you is, don't get too out of bed about it. You will have your day, but because of the abuse you've done to yourself in the past, unfortunately, it's going to take you a little bit longer than 12 weeks to get there, because you've got low muscle, so you've got to get in the gym and build that muscle. You had very high body fat, so obviously we had a lot of kilograms to drop as well. That's okay. Okay, it's fine. The point of the matter is, at least you've started this journey, you're making progress. Within 18 months, you're going to look like a superhuman, and it's going to be a night and day result on where you started, and may I add, a night and day result on who you are as a person. If you 18 months ago and you now, your mindset will be completely different. How you see yourself, your self-worth, self-value, and your self-image will be completely different. And that is fucking priceless. And that's why you actually want to do this in the first place. So, to summarize this video, increase your discipline so that your self-worth goes up, so that what you believe you deserve is the clean-cut six-pack. If it's a more tactical issue and you've essentially used all your tools, you're going to run a diet break for 6 weeks and take a second run of it. If you are high body fat, low muscle to start with, you've got down, you're not going to make 10% anyway, then run an improvement phase for a good 6 to 12 months and then take a second run at it. So, if you found this video of value, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you want me to do this for you, there'll be links in the description. You can book a call. We'll take it from there. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.